Last year for April Fool's Day, instead of making a dumb clickbait meme video, I decided to take the time and discuss the top 10 cards in a card game other than Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters was my choice given how I played the game back in the day and love it to this day. This year, I wanted to do the same concept with Generation 1 Pokemon cards because I adored those cards as a kid as well. Who wouldn't be? Pokemania was white hot, and I enjoyed just collecting those cool looking cards. Gen 1 Pokemon sets included Base Set, Jungle Expansion, and Fossil Expansion, meaning 228 cards to pull from. At the end, let me know which cards you would add. So with that entire preamble said, let's start. Number 10, Charizard. The most notable classic Pokemon card, or maybe even of all Pokemon cards. Charizard is strength absolute, the Toguro of Pokemon cards. 120 HP with 100 attack power is nothing to joke about. While his energy cost is high, the drip of Charizard is undeniable. Turns out Charizard has a lot more value than price card or nostalgia. Number 9, Mewtwo. Here's Mewtwo. With the base set release, Mulligan Mewtwo became a concept. All you need is the card itself and plenty of psychic energy to pull off the trick. Trick being to use Mewtwo's barrier attack that protects Mewtwo for a turn. That barrier puts the red light on the road of your opponent's victory. If they cannot defeat Mewtwo, then, well, they can't win. Assuming your opponent doesn't have that clause like, say, an energy removal, then it's quite annoying. Yeah, even Pokemon had a deck out strategy, and it just so happens that one of the strongest Pokemon of Gen 1 found its way to cheeky power. Mewtwo strikes back in card form. Number 8, Mr. Mime. It's Mime time. You may look at his HP and attack and not think much of it. However, that's not where his true strength lies. Here we have his Pokemon power, Invisible Wall. He can bypass any attack with 30 or more damage, so unless he has a status effect, then not even a mighty Charizard could take him down. Sure, Mime is a bit of a gimmick card like Mewtwo, but the strategy of using him to take down big Pokemon is super effective. Number 7, Pokemon Breeder. Despite basic cards having plenty of meta-viable Pokemon, having a trainer card that could instant evolve a stage 1 card would save you an entire turn to get out powerful Pokemon that could change the tides of battle. The change from a weaker to a more powerful Pokemon right away could mean bad things for your opponent when they see a Squirtle turn into a Blastoise or a Magikarp to a Gyarados. Skip the middleman and get to your main Pokemon. Oh yeah. It opens the possibilities for building evolution-based decks that aren't garbage, and for that, I tip my trainer's hat. Number 6, Blastoise. If Charizard can be threatening, then so can his starter brethren in Blastoise. The Rain Dance deck is a popular deck from that time as named by Blastoise's Pokemon power. You can move water energy cards around your play zone to prepare your battle strategy, stack up energy for one big Hydro Pump, or draw energy away from water Pokemon about to faint. He's a leech or a battery depending on how you look at it, and either way, he's fantastic for the deck archetype, apart from being necessary. He has that gimmick vibe like Mr. Mime, yet with great stats. What's there not to love? Number 5, Lass. I was split between this trainer card and Chansey as the last of my top 10 cards I was figuring out for this list. Chansey has massive amounts of HP, which can go a long way in the right deck. But when it came down to it, Lass just inherently does more than be a brick wall that cameos and builds artwork. Seriously, why does that wall look so realistic? Lass makes both players shuffle all trainer cards from their hands into the deck. Aside from your own cards, which you may or may not have in hand at the moment of play, it can prevent your opponent from using a variety of cards, whether for pressure or comeback. Item Finder, Gust of Wind, Computer Search, Energy Removal. If left in the hand, then Lass can lasso them right out of there. It's balanced in a way that you may not want to use it given your own hand, so there is strategy involved. Lass is in a class all by herself. Number 4, Super Energy Removal. It may not be free removal, however, super energy removal does what it says. Even though you have to discard 1 energy, it lets you rip apart 2 from the opponent, leaving their Pokemon dried up. It's a great disruptor that many decks just aren't well equipped to deal with. It makes the opponent have to take potentially multiple turns to build that well of energy back up, and if you're on your game, then it can be the difference in game tempo and perhaps the game itself. It's energy removal on crack. In Yu-Gi-Oh terms, it's what Twin Twisters is to Mystical Space Typhoon. Number 3. Bill. Drawing 2 cards is a phenomenal effect in any game, unless it's Uno. Well, depending on which side of the card you're on. No drawbacks here, for you could get to your cards faster. A free +1 is always a must play. You just have to go with the fundamentals in card games. The pot of greed of Pokemon. You know the drill. Number 2. SCYTHER. Another basic Pokemon like Mr. Mime, SCYTHER has a lot of general greatness about him. In early Pokemon, Haymaker decks were a top-tier deck. It's mostly known for its fast-moving, hard-hitting cards with a variety of elements. 2 popular Pokemon for this deck were Hitmonchan and Electabuzz. However, it's SCYTHER that I'm highlighting for this list, and not have the other 2 take up space from other cards that have more difference in discussion than Punchy Boys. From Jungle, he's useful for a variety of aspects. For one, his colorless energy need is versatile with a nice attack stat, not including Swords Dance, to increase it. His 70 HP is valuable on its own too. Plus, when compared to the other Haymakers, you don't even need a retreat cost for SCYTHER either. And with a fighting resistance, it made him have an edge when pit against Hitmonchan. I ranked him higher than Bill because at the end of the day, you need SCYTHER to win games. SCYTHER is a great Pokemon to splash in many decks, not just Haymaker. Honorable mentions include Item Finder, Gust of Wind, Chansey, and Double Colorless Energy. And number 1, Professor Oak. The doctor is in, and he knows what's up. While you must discard your entire hand, you get to draw 7 cards. That's right, not 2, not 5, 7. There's no prerequisite to hand size, meaning this guy is an insta-play morphing jar at anime levels. Get rid of a bad hand or just use it to get more cards than you had prior. And when you consider synergy with other Pokemon, then the floodgates of play are open. It's no surprise given all the reasons why Oak is the best of the first generation of Pokemon cards.